What is the matter with people? She was beside herself in tears. So I think her name was Nicole. So straight away, I'm like, I'm hooked.
The tea is exceptionally good today.
She's decorated this thing, this whole tray, this whole Italian feast. Some dude, like, basically aggressively just kind of walked past her, allegedly. It's not polite to come into someone's house and not introduce yourself to nobody. And furthermore, actually, who even are you? We've got no problem, with you being here. I just don't want you in the house, which in itself is backwards. Horrible response video, all up close to the camera to make her feel like some unwanted cockroach in your yard. Which I'll come back to that in a moment. She's moved to a new area, wanted to make some new friends, took her tired self and her good-natured self, her good Wizardora cabbage patch self to go and take her tomatoes out her garden, yeah? When you see the yard, yo, give me a setting for the next I Know What You Did Last Summer. Yes, peoples. Yes, people. This is a story, yeah, that I came across literally a few weeks ago. And I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since, because I'm just like, what is the matter with people? Genuinely, what is the matter with people? What struck me, it's happened like a month ago now. It's the 4th of July weekend, and on the 4th of August, so it's a full month ago this happened. And what struck me the most is that I just went down this rabbit hole. I was randomly scrolling through TikTok, and then I came across this young lady's, this woman's profile, and she was beside herself in tears. So I think her name was Nicole, and she was, saying how upset she was because of, and she kept apologizing because she didn't want to ruin her kids' 4th of July weekend, but she just couldn't understand as to what happened to her. So straight away, I'm like, I'm hooked.
Cause you're not that cute, and your hair is uneven. You look dusty.
Like, what has gone on? What has got you to the point where you are on TikTok? Plus the fact there was like 3.8 million likes or whatever. I was like, what on earth is this? So you may have heard this story already. If you haven't, then buckle on in, because honestly,
The tea is exceptionally good today. Who made this? Very delicious. Hold on.
it's absolutely shocking. It's so poor. It's so poor. So Nicole, she's got a kid, and her kid is friends with another kid at school, and I guess their family members are having like some kind of party or some kind of 4th of July celebration, gathering, whatever. The mother of that kid invites Nicole to this party, and Nicole's only recently moved to the area from, I can't remember where she moved from, but it was, she's on her own basically, just her and the kids, and she doesn't really know anyone. And I'm sure that everyone's pretty much aware of this. Like, if you're fortunate, like I see myself as being quite lucky in that I'm surrounded by a lot of good people. I've got a lot of friends from when I was still at school. I've got a lot of friends from uni. I've got lots of friends from like people I've worked with, my family. Like, I feel very blessed and very fortunate. There's some people out there that don't have that. They again have moved to different areas. They don't know anyone. Maybe you cut off some toxic people you had in your life, so you had to kind of start again. And I've always thought this: when you get to a certain age, outside of like your schools and your unis and that kind of stuff, and obviously the workplace, how do you meet friends? How do you meet new people? Because like, even if you are like a really cool person, yeah, 9 times out of 10 people have got friends that they're quite happy with, and it's difficult to kind of break on in there. Do you know what I mean? Because some people are like, listen, we don't need no new friends.
I don't really need no new friends, no new friends, no new friends, no.
So there's a whole song about it. People have got their cliques and stuff already, so it can be really hard to penetrate that. So she's moved to a new area. She gets invited to this party, so she's like, brilliant. So she decides, like, okay, well, I'm not gonna come with my too dry hand yet. I'm going to come with something. I'm gonna make an antipasto salad. Now, I didn't even know what an antipasto salad was. Like, I know antipasti, but I didn't know the way that she did the salad and everything. Like with the it looked like salami, but I guess it could be like any kind of like Italian meat. With the salamis, the pastrami's, and that kind of stuff. But she's decorated this thing, this whole tray, this whole Italian feast, yeah, which looks incredible. And I didn't realize until a lot later that this is what she does. She's like a caterer or a baker or something. She does food. So she's gone to a lot of trouble to go and get like really good meats, the best meats. Apparently this was like a $40, 35 quid, 40 quid salad. She's like layered it with the meats and stuff, mozzarella, tomatoes, there's all kinds of, I guess, like some kind of pickle things in there as well, and like there's some balsamic glaze across the top. She's even thought to put, like, if people don't want to deal with all the mozzarella and the tomatoes and stuff, she's put some meat down the side. You can just take out the meat if you want the meat. Like, it looked, I mean, I eat. I know there's gonna be some rastas out there. It's like, me not eating no pork. I don't mind eating a little bit of pig. That's just me. So salami or the meats, I would have had an absolute field day with that tray. It looked delicious. And I didn't realize as well, yeah, that not only did she grow the tomatoes in her own garden, yeah, that she also made the mozzarella from scratch. Now, I know that these people on social media that know about, I fancied a focaccia sandwich with some real homemade mozzarella, so I made it. Like, there are people out there that can do those kind of things. I would not know the first. I'm sure that when you're making cheese, you got to get some kind of like cloth thing, right, and kind of like drain the milk, like it's like a muslin, is it a muslin cloth it's called, to gather some of the clotted pieces of milk bits, or I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. But what I do know is that she took her tired self, took her 2 hands them, and made this antipasto salad from scratch, basically. So she's made antipasto salad and she's gone to the yard. So she's got to the yard now, and the mother of her kid's friend, I think her name was Samantha, obviously related to this family. She's met her on the porch or whatever. So she's walking through this antipasto salad. She even brought her own drink. I think she brought like some Pepsi or some Coke or something like that, because obviously she's driving, so she's not looking to get like absolutely hammered or anything. So she's brought her own drink. She brought antipasto salad, and she's walking through, and she's trying to put down the salad. Like, you know what it's like when you get to somewhere, you don't know anyone, and the only person that you know is the one person. So you're probably doing, your average, like, hi, do you know what I mean? I just want to get this down, and so I can just, and I can go around and meet everyone and say hello or whatever. As she's coming through the house, to put down antipasto salad, some dude, like, basically aggressively just kind of walks past her, allegedly, and storms outside. And she's like, okay. And then this woman turns around and she's like, are you not going to go and say hello to anybody? And she's like, well, that's what I was starting to do. Like, I've just wanted to put this down and, introduce myself to be like, it's not polite to come into someone's house and not introduce yourself to nobody. Again, she's like, I just thought, and furthermore, actually, who even are you? And she's like, oh, I introduced, like, I was brought here by Samantha. Now apparently Samantha, the one who brought her, I think either she had scarpered or she wasn't there at the moment, or like, but she's not really, from what Nicole said in that TikTok, from what I can recall, she's not really backing her to, like, I invited her, she's my guest. So this woman, who apparently is Stasia, it could be Stasia, it could be or it could be Jake, because the guy that walked out, apparently his name is Jake, and Stasia and Jake are together. And but there is something to do with the mum as well, the mother-in-law. She's obviously kind of like, I'm gonna just go, like, because this is like really uncomfortable or whatever. So as she's going on the porch and stuff, she's like, everyone's just turning around and looking at her, like, and basically she said it was like she was being bullied by these random people that she'd never met before. And she ends up basically going back to her car, because I think not only her kid, but her kid's friend also wanted to come with her, because she was just like, I'm not staying here. Like, I don't want to stay here after that. So she's left, and she's in floods of tears, and she's trying to hold it in for her kid because she doesn't want to ruin, like, the July celebrations or whatever. But she left the salad there, like, so she's like, you can keep the salad there. So they've got this beautiful $40 worth salad, probably still kept her drink as well, because, like, well, we'll have that too, and allowed her to leave in floods of tears. So she just like, I just don't understand why people like, how can people be like this? And she's literally beside herself in like crying, like she's in pieces, and you just can't help but feel sorry for her, right? And you're just like, wow, like as if someone would like treat someone like that. Like I personally can't understand it. Like I said, I feel, I don't know, I'm not like culturally, like I can't imagine like coming from a West Indian background, yeah, that at any point that someone's bringing food to your yard, that you're going to be hostile with that person. This person clearly is no threat to you. This woman stays here. Is trying to say that, you know, you shouldn't be in our home. Like, you know, we've got no problem, you know, look, with you being here. I just don't want you in the house, which in itself is backwards. What do you mean you got no problem with me being here, but you don't want me in your house? What kind of message is that? And I just can't imagine if someone had brought like a tray of dumpling, yeah, and I'd never met them before, and they were like, oh, I was invited by such and, in fact, even scratch that. Do you know how many parties I've been to? And I don't know the host. And I think she even said that. I think she's even said that, I don't know whose party it is. And she's like, exactly. But she's like, well, that's how you meet people though, innit? Like that's how you meet people, is it not? Like I've met people at other people's parties that weren't necessarily my party and had an absolute field day with them, and like continued to know them afterwards, and we've become friends. And you know, and I've met like my friend who's introduced me to one of their friends, and now we've become friends and got our own friendship and stuff. Like that's how you just act like a human. I've never been in a situation where anybody would make someone feel like that at a party and singled out like some loser, like some loser's got no friend. Like you're actively trying to make them feel like a loser. That's what you're actively trying to do, because you've got all your people around you and you're in your home, like, and rather than be hospitable and be nice and welcoming, you want to make out that she's some kind of like devil deviant.
Do you know what people I can't stand? Is people still stuck in secondary school, and you can just tell they're still mean girls, they're still mean boys, they're still bullies. Like, I just hate them type of people. Like, grow up. You're actually 21 years old, you're still acting like you're 14 years old in science.
So she's gone home in flood of tears anyway, and then she, I guess, puts on this video on her TikTok. Now allegedly the Stasia, she, the one who basically cussed her off and told her to come out of the yard, she puts on like it's not an apology video, but it's a response video she puts on, and she's basically saying, look, you know, you guys don't really scare me, like, cause I think it went so viral that everyone basically called them out. So called out this stage woman, called out this jet, bearing in mind that Nicole didn't drop no names. She didn't drop any names. She just said, this is the situation that I've been in. This is what happened. And so she's come back on a stage, has come online and said, you know, trying to defend herself. It was a horrible response video. You know, all up close to the camera. You guys, you know, think it's okay to try and intimidate me. Like I stand by what I said. You know, we're not bad people. We're good people. We actually called and apologized to her, and she didn't want to take the apology. Now, listen here, good sis. Yeah.
Keep your apology. I'm not looking for it. I want you to sit with the truth of what you did. I like the silence to echo, the memories to sting until the consequences of your actions finally sink in. I hope it hits you one day, the hurt you caused and the trust you destroyed without a second thought.
The time for you to apologize would have been when you didn't quite understand who she was and you were a little bit cold. You could have been a little bit cold, and even then that would have been too much. But you went full out nuclear to make her feel like some unwanted cockroach in your yard, which I'll come back to that in a moment. And it's like, well, why would you do that? And then, you know, trying to defend Jake and be like, you know, she wouldn't accept the apology. Instead, she wanted to be on TikTok and be a victim and da-da-da-da. And it's like, you are awful. You're like, who even, like, it's baffling to me that somebody could double down like that and say, you know what, like, I got it wrong. I should never have treated someone like in my home that way. You know, and then to be like, oh, you know, it was only a dry salad anyway. Like, you know, who even cares about the salad? Like, so you're not really a nice person. You know, you haven't really learned anything from it. You just don't really care. I think then that Nicole allegedly was getting threats then from from people in the town, and there's something to do with the sheriff as well, the sheriff of the local town, who then came to Nicole's house and was like, oh, we need to speak to your husband because we've had like a threat come through. And she's like, well, why are you coming to my house? Why do you expect that it's my partner and my husband that's done that? Because I can guarantee you it's not. And he's like, well, that's the reason we need to talk to him. I was reading that like some people had said that, like, you know, they really need to be careful because there was all these kind of, again, allegedly, all these links to the sheriff of that town and certain, like, you know, misconduct and what have you, and the same Jake who bunks past her in the first place has had all kinds of like misdemeanors for you know, violence and stuff. So all of this has happened. She's moved to a new area, wanted to make some new friends, took her tired self and her good-natured self, her good Wizardora cabbage patch self to go and take her tomatoes out her garden, yeah? And take the painstaking process of making mozzarella that I don't even understand. Takes that $40 worth of antipasto salad and her own drink with her kid to this party, gets run out the party. And then when she's upset about it, they double down and make out that she's some kind of like, oh, that's it as well. She also spoke about a potential mental condition that Nicole might have had, which becomes even more crazy because this Anastasia apparently was a registered health professional, and apparently it's a violation of, is it HIPAA?
Did you know that HIPAA stands for Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act? I specialize in HIPAA violation cases where medical records have been disclosed without permission.
A set of laws out there that you're not allowed to discuss anyone else's medical records whatsoever. So I think she actually lost her job, which, you know, come on. Which to me, I'm just like, well, fair enough, because in one hand, I'm like, you know, you don't want everyone to get cancelled to the point where, you know, you've got no livelihood or whatever. You don't, you know, I never want to see someone like on the street because of something that they did. But I do think accountability is important. And, you know, I do think it's great that the internet, because some of the memes, some of the TikTok memes that I saw on this, I was absolutely howling.
And they have an antipasto salad. That person didn't need an invite to come over. They brought an antipasto salad. The antipasto salad is the invite, especially if it's this antipasto salad. Look at that antipasto salad.
If you show up to my house with an antipasto salad, I'm not kicking you out. And I'm not just letting you in. I'm gonna kiss you on the lips because that's my favorite fucking dish. I don't care if we've never met before. I don't care if you roll up as my best friend's +1 and I don't even know your fucking name. You just brought olives, cheese, and cured meat to my house. Congratulations, you're adopted. You're now my sister. I hope you like to trauma bond.
Now you get your raggedy ass off my porch. Go on. Get off my property. Now!
Oh, hello. Who are you? Oh, sorry. Are you hungry? We'll get you some samosa. I don't know who she is, but we have lots of food anyway. Eat first. We'll figure out your name later. Aparna must have invited her. She's always picking up people for her son. Arey, she brought one salad, man. Go and get the biryani. Rahul, add one more plate. This lady is staying for lunch and dinner. This one's paneer, this is raita, and don't worry about your salad. I put it over there. We'll get to it if we need it.
Wow. They went in. They went absolutely in. Like, I think most people just couldn't understand that you would treat someone that kind of way. Like, it's just so awful. And then someone posted the yard. Now look, I'm not on here to shame anybody and where they currently are and who, and you know, their financial situation and therefore where they live, because listen, like most people, self included, are only one paycheck away from like potentially being like on the road themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that could happen to anybody. Now, I'm not quite saying that like it looks like a homeless shelter. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, because they were saying there was a misunderstanding and that actually they just thought that she was going to be dropping off the kids. They weren't expecting her to stay. Now, I've seen enough like murder documentaries with kids and stuff on Netflix. I'm not about to be leaving my kid with some random family that I've never met before, I've never seen before. Yeah, much less. And then when you see the yard, which looks like the perfect, like you couldn't have written to ChatGPT for a better position for someone to say, yo, give me a setting, yeah, for the next I Know What You Did Last Summer. You know, the man with the fish hook. Yeah, like give me a setting for where he might live. Give me a setting for with the bushes and the trees. Yeah, for where you would absolutely never leave your child. Give me what that building might look like, and I promise you, it looks like that. It looks like that. So I'm like, fam, nobody is leaving their kid there. Like, and the fact that you even would want them just to say, well, actually, we don't even want to meet you, just leave your picnic. That's a red flag to me. What do you mean? You don't want to meet me, don't want to interact with me, get to know me as the parent, just drop off my kid and leave them. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, sorry. So I think the fact that, and I know some people have really come for the house, yeah, and been like, you know, oh, there was nothing to teeth in the yard, and actually, like, the most expensive thing in the yard was the antipasto salad, and whatever, which again isn't very nice. But I think the reason that people were coming for you so hard is because you made that woman feel so incredibly terrible, and I think the reason it sat with me so much, yeah, is I'm just like, where are we going as people? Like, where are we actually going as people? How can you genuinely have someone come to your house with a peaceful offering, yeah, this antipasto salad that looked really delicious, and even if you don't even eat mozzarella, even if you don't eat salami, even if you don't like balsamic, you don't like tomatoes, the fact that someone would have gone to the effort to bring something like that to your house, how could you not show them better faith than that? I mean, I'll be honest, it's not everybody I eat from. So to be fair, like, you know, if you did bring it, like, I would be grateful and I'd be thankful and be like, yo, thank you so much. You would never know, but I'll have to make a very snap decision on whether I'm gonna eat it or not, because I don't know how your house stays. I don't know what's in your kitchen. I don't know what's set up. I never forget. Yeah, there was one time that someone made me some cakes, yeah, some really beautiful cakes and really lovely cakes, because people who know me know that I love cake, yeah, I'm a cake fiend. So they made me these cakes, and I got a few batches from them because they were just so good. And then I never forget, I saw their kitchen.
Yeah, listen. We fucked up.
Oh, they had like the animals of farthing wood in their kitchen. Now, look, if you're an animal person, yeah, and you don't mind, you know, the dog hair, the cat hair, the guinea pig, the snakes, that's you. I'm not. That's you. You enjoy all of that nature wild reserve in your property. That's not for me to say. But when you then bring that said food into my scope of living, that's a problem, because I'm not eating it. And had I known that, I would never have eaten it. I'm feeling a bit bilious even talking about it. Yeah. So when someone brings something like that to my house, whatever, I it's not everyone's food. Like, most people are just like, yo, come and enjoy. Just come enjoy, have a great time. Don't bring nothing. Do you know what I mean? Because as I said, sometimes you might bring something that I'm grateful for, but I'm not eating it. Do you know what I mean? But you would never know that, because why would I want to make you feel like that? Why would anybody allow someone to come into their house and not be just grateful and thankful? And wow, I can't believe that you would do that. You don't even know me, and you brought me food that you grew out your garden. If I don't lay out some gold carpet for you the next time you come to you can come to my house anytime, because you're coming with good intentions and a good heart. And I feel that, I guess the reason it stuck with me so much is that, like, I just feel there are so many things that are happening in the world whereby, like, those good hearts and those good moments, like, are getting lost, and so many people are quite happy. Like, she saw how upset she was, and rather than be like, I can't believe that I allowed someone to feel like that, I can't believe on my watch, you know, even if that wasn't my intention, yeah, that I let that happen. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, you know, I know that it means taking accountability, and some people don't like to do that. Right. And I even get defending herself a little bit to be like, oh, actually, I just didn't know who you were in my house, and I'm sorry if it came off the wrong way. Like, I could understand that a bit, but to double down, like she's just some crazy victim crying on TikTok, you did yourself no favors. But yeah, I'm just interested if anyone else heard this story and what they thought of it, because I thought it was wild. Like literally wild. I think the last thing I saw was that Nicole, she was making some t-shirts and stuff, like, and she was selling the recipe in some places and think as well. So it looks as though she's doing all right from this, which is amazing. And that so many people online were like, look, I'll be your friend. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll be your friend. But just raise some questions for me as to, I wonder how many people out there like would love to, you know, make more effort to kind of make a friend but don't know where to start, and then they see things like that and they're like, well, this is exactly the reason why I don't bother, because look how you treated me on the back of that. I just thought it was mad. I thought it was really, really, really crazy. I just wish somebody would try me like that, because this is just not how you treat someone. Do you know what I mean? Even if you don't want to eat my plate of dumpling on my coleslaw, you know, or whatever it is I brought, like, at least acknowledge the fact that I did that with a good spirit. I don't know you, but that's the reason why I've come bearing gifts, because that's what you do. You don't come with your two dry, long hands somewhere. I picked this myself. You ungrateful cretin. And actually, you have a nerve acting here like you got the Four Seasons in here, yeah, and that anybody wants to come to your big death trap house anyway. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to wipe my foot on the way out of here. And don't worry, you'll never have to see me again. You can keep your Halloween splinter trees. You can keep your dark looking windows. I don't want to come back. Thanks, actually. You've done me a favour. Actually, thank you. So, yeah, it's a bit of a crazy one, man. But just keen to see if anyone else saw that and what their thoughts were. But it blew my mind. I was like, wow. It just reminds you, man, that like not everybody in the world is built the same way, like at all. I just know what you guys thought of this and what you made of it. And actually, is it something that like crossed your news feeds and stuff? And what did you make of it when you saw it? Have you made an antipasto salad since you've seen it? Like, you know, have you made any new friends in the last however many years actually, and like taken someone in? Or actually, has it been quite difficult for you to, you know, to do the whole new friend thing? Because I do get it as well that sometimes, you know, when you've got like a good unit of people and, you know those people, like sometimes letting a new person in that hasn't got the same, you know, legacy, like, and time to know them, like that can be a bit of a risk. But then sometimes some other people that you've known for like how long can also be bad mind and wicked and grudgeful and secretly be working against you. You know how many clips I've seen on TikTok and Instagram of people cheating and finding out is their long-term friend. Long-term friend from 3-5 years old, this friend, that friend. You don't always know. So it's interesting to find out like what other people's like experiences have been when it comes to either starting something new or trying to be in like a new situation. What made me feel so much better about it all, and for her as well, is that the comments totally 100% passed the vibe check. And like I said, now she's selling t-shirts and selling the recipe, so in your face, Deja. But yeah, for now, thanks for watching. And if you did enjoy this, then do drop me a like and subscribe. That'd be great. Thank you very much. As I mentioned earlier, this is my new channel. I've got, well, I say my new channel. Room 703 is temporarily lost to me. So I'm still waiting for Google on day 11 to come back to me with anything. But you know, I can't talk about them anymore, because if I do, like, I'll go Red Ross.
The time that we were all waiting in line for Dances with Wolves and that one guy cut in front of us, and I just lost it, screamed at him, turned all red. Red Ross!
In the meantime, this space is going to be like more for me, just kind of, you know, the things that kind of come across my feeds and stuff, man. I think it's interesting to talk about. I just want to, you know, have that thought process with other people and be like, well, what did you make of that? And this is my 2 pence on it. I think the next thing that I'm probably going to make some kind of comment on is the fact that Donald Trump wants to arrest Beyonce.
Has he met Beehive?
You don't know already. I got a lot to say about that. So if you do want access to my videos before they come to YouTube, then do head over to Patreon. But yeah, for now, thank you for watching. And what was the catchphrase I came up with? So it's good to chat and make sure you come back. I don't know if I like it. I might just keep it to see you on the next one. I don't know. You let me know what you think. It's good to chat, so make sure you come back. Oh, was that a bit wordy as opposed to see you on the next one? Let's keep the same energy. I might just keep the same energy. It's what I'm. Yeah, I'm just kidding. So bad. No, it's a new channel. It's a new thing. Good to chat. So hurry on back. Well, it's still a work in progress, people. We'll see how we get on with this. Like.